Alright, what's up everybody? This is Ice Coffee, and I'm back with another toy review, another flashback action figure review. These are the 2007, I want to say 2007/2008 Jack Specific Rocky action figures, where they was part of a series called The Best of Rocky. And I think Apollo, Creed, and Rocky are from Series 2, and George Washington Duke was actually from Series 2. Jack Specific a while back, I guess they were celebrating the return of Rocky, because this was during the time Rocky Balboa came out, and I think they was doing action figures for Rocky Balboa, and that was around about it. But I think they just decided to just do all the Rocky movies. And the cool thing about the Jack Specific toys, that they didn't do just the fighters. They did like the side characters. They did Mickey, Adrian, Paulie, some of the other characters that was in the movie. The side characters, the characters that wasn't boxing. See right here, I got George Washington Duke, boxer promoter. If you've seen Rocky 5, I'm sure you can recognize this character, even though for some weird reason they didn't give him no glasses, but they gave him shades. But I don't know what happened to his shades. I lost his shades a long time ago. But even if you pay attention to the figures, you can kind of tell that Rocky and Apollo looks a little bit different, because this one is from Rocky 1, and this one is from Rocky 4. Now, at the time, the only reason why I got Apollo Creed, because I just liked Apollo Creed, one of my second best Rocky characters. They one of the best fighters in Rocky. I think Clubber Lang is one of my number one personal favorite Rocky villains, and Apollo Creed was number 2. And only reason why I got that Apollo Creed from Rocky 4 was because that was the only Apollo Creed they had, and at the store they really didn't have Apollo Creed from Rocky 1. So, but he was also one of my first figures to get. And just to let you know, before ahead of time, I'm going to do maybe like a 2 or 3 video. I might do 3 videos. There's going to be 3 parts, because I'm not going to review them all at once. I'm going to give everyone, each figure, they own video, and I'm going to review each figure. But for this video, I'm just going to do Apollo Creed, because Apollo was the first one that I've actually bought, because at the time, these figures was hard to find. I could not barely find these figures. I was so amazed by these figures that I actually called the company for customer service and asked them, like, where do y'all sell these figs? And they said they sell them everywhere that, they sell them at, whatever, you got Walmart, Target. I've been to I've been to a few Walmarts and Targets, but I never could find these figs. I only found them in one store, and it was KB Toys in Mississippi. It was in a strip mall, and for some weird reason, I think these toys was originally like $10, but they were selling them, I think, for like 8. But at the end, that's a good price for these toys. I wish Jack Specific was still making these toys, but NECA got the rights to Rocky, so I wish they could bring this back, or I wish NECA just took some pages from Jack Specific and start doing not just Rocky and the people that he fight, and not just Clubber Lang and Apollo Creed and Drago. Why not Mason Dixon and Tommy Gunn? I know a lot of people don't really care too much for those 2 boxers, but at least make some action figures for them as well, because for real, I almost didn't get Rocky. I was actually thinking about getting Mason Dixon, because at the time that I bought these figs, I had Rocky Balboa, and I was watching a lot of Rocky, and then I watched Rocky Balboa a bunch of times. So I really didn't I really didn't think about getting Rocky. I wanted to get Mason Dixon, but I changed my mind and got Rocky though. But I wasn't gonna get Rocky 1 though. I was gonna get Rocky Balboa. So I don't know what made me change it, but I tell you the rest of the story when I do Rocky 1. This is Rocky 1. This is from Rocky 5, and this is from Rocky 4. So they're not all alphabetical orderly from the Rocky movies, but it's a dope series. I wish NECA could have took some pages off and just do just about like the side characters just as much as the boxers and the fighters, though, because I'm very sure they would make more money out of it. But they never did a series. I think after they was done with the series, I think they did the best of the series. So they did a series called The Best of Rocky, and then they had Best of Rocky Series 1, then they had the Best of Rocky Series 2, which George Washington, the weird thing about, well, I ain't gonna tell you about him or this Rocky. I'm just gonna stop and just start doing, letting Rocky, I'm not Rocky, but I'm gonna let Apollo do his thing. So this review is on Apollo Creed. So okay, this figure probably stands from like 6 or 7 inches tall. It's got the glove swivel, arms bent. It does the arm swivel. The arm goes probably 360. Head goes 360. Ankle joints, bend knees, waist swivel. Boxers. I mean, like I said, this is off of Rocky. This is actually off of Rocky 4 when he fights the Russian and gets killed. And this is his exact costume. But the NECA version looks real nice. I would like to get this. See, like I said, swivel, arm bends, arm swivels, bent, ankle joints. And if the articulation looks really familiar, and I'm very sure, it's like if the articulation or the torso or even the body mold looks familiar, these are actually, well, this was made in 2008 or 2007, so Jakks Pacific did wrestling figures, so they took, like the torso from any wrestler, because these arms, besides the boxing gloves, these arms and the torso part, that came from the wrestling figure. So the Rocky Balboa figures kind of share the same body mold as the WWE figures, which is kind of weird where you stand your Apollo Creed next to your Batista figure and they got the same body mold. So, well, Apollo Creed was pretty buff in that movie. So, excuse my voice, but my voice kind of dry. So excuse me about my dry voice, but but this is all I can do. But it has the same body mode as. Okay, you could tell this is from the movie because this is from the 4th movie, and you kind of could tell this is from the movie because these are the shoes, the gloves. He's got his signature, Uncle Sam colors, as you see as he wears in the movie. These are the gloves that he wears in the movie, and you can kind of tell this is Rocky 4 Apollo Creed and not Rocky 1 or Rocky 2 or the last 3 Rocky movies before this one, because he had more of like a smaller afro. He kind of had like a little trim though, but he had like a bigger afro in the past 3 Rocky movies. So you could tell the difference because you could tell his hairstyle is a little bit different, and it's kind of neat because it actually looks just like Carl Weathers. So it's got the gloves. I know the gloves won't be 100% white. I don't know if the camera can catch it, but the gloves are a little bit on the dingy side. Because I've had these toys for a good while. I ain't gonna say dingy, but they're not Snow White like they once was. And you gotta think about it. I had these while these was out though. I had these when they was really popular. I mean, I don't know if they was popular or not, but I had got these right about like at the time that these toys came out. And these are pretty hard figures to find anyway. These are pretty hard to find nowadays. Like these Rocky figures from Jakks Pacific from from back at that time. Nowadays, these are hard figures to find, and I'm very sure this is a top seller one. I remember this one sold out pretty quick though. But this figure, itself, it's pretty neat. It's pretty dope. It looks just like the dude it looks just like him from the movie. And only reason why I bought this figure at the time because he was the only Apollo Creed. I don't think they had any other Apollo Creed figures. And number two, they ran out of Clubber Lang, because originally I was more looking forward to getting a Clubber Lang, but they didn't really have Clubber Lang anymore because the story was I went by the strip mall once the day that I bought this figure, and I went to the strip mall and I said maybe I'll wait until later on, and I actually talked my grandfather into take me back because we was going to Memphis, and I actually talked him into taking me back to that strip mall. And the first time we went by the strip mall, they had Clubber Lang, and I was like, oh, I don't know, because I didn't know if I had enough money to get that or a pair of shoes, because we went out just to get some shoes, and I did not know if I would ever have enough money for shoes or eating. So I just went ahead and just asked my grandpa, did he mind take me back later on before the store closes. When I came back, Clubber Lang was gone, because they actually had Clubber Lang in his boxing clothes. They had two Clubber Langs. They had one in his boxing clothes and one in his street clothes, but I didn't really want him in his street clothes. I want him in his boxing clothes. But when I came back, Clubber Lang was gone, so I just went ahead and got Apollo Creed, because that's one of my second next to favorite Rocky villains. I mean, well, he's not a villain, he's his, he's his nemesis, and then he started out being his homeboy, and that's around about it. But I think it's pretty cool, pretty neat. If you could find them, if you can really find these figures for a pretty good cheap price and pretty good condition, I mean, like, man, just go ahead and snatch them up, because these figures, these Jakks Pacific figures from the Jakks Pacific Rocky figures are not cheap. These toys, I seen the cheapest of them being like $30, from 30 to like $70 some for these figures, especially if they're in the boxes. So these toys are very pricey, and I'm just glad to snatch. I didn't get a lot of these figures, but I'm glad just to get them, purely, even if I just got Apollo Creed, because even at the time, I didn't really have no plans on getting Apollo Creed. I mean, I never take that back. I did have plans on getting Apollo Creed, but I think I wasn't having plans on getting the rest of the crew, though. I didn't plan on, not the rest of the crew, I mean, I really didn't have no plans on getting, more than one, I was just assuming that Apollo might be just the one and only. I would assume that he would be the one and only one that I would actually get, and that probably would have been the end of it, But to keep it real, I didn't, when they came out with the news that they was making figures for Rocky and it was Jakks Pacific, to be honest, I didn't plan on getting a lot of the characters anyway. Only figures I really did want was actually Apollo, Clubber, and Adrian, and that was round about it. Or Mickey, and that's round about it. I really didn't have no plans of getting these guys, of getting that many characters. I didn't even have no plans on getting Rocky, though. But I came back, and I think Clubber was gone, and I know they had a Mike Tyson one from Rocky Balboa, and I was that close to getting that Mike Tyson, but I said, no, I want to get like a boxer. I said, well, I'll go ahead and get this Apollo Creed. He looks cool, but I didn't really intend on getting this Apollo Creed because this is the one where he died, so I really didn't plan on getting that much. I didn't plan on getting him, but I just went ahead and got him because he looked really cool. So I said, I'll just go ahead and pick him up. It's Apollo Creed. He's a dope character, so I wouldn't mind getting him, though. And I hope that NECA do some toys for Creed, though, because I was always wondering why they didn't have no toys for, like, Creed. I was wondering why they never did toys for Creed, but it'd be dope if they would did Creed toys as well, just as much as Rocky. It'd be really dope if they did that though. But like I said, I give this figure 2 thumbs up. It's a must-have figure. If you like Rocky, go ahead and get him. If you can't get him, because these are Jack-specific Rocky figures. They're not that cheap. They're probably, most people probably going to charge you $50 for these figs. So my best advice is just get, my best advice is just get the NECA ones, because they're more currently and they're more easy to catch. They're more easy to find. I'm very sure. If you want some Rocky figures and you don't care what company they from, just get the NECA figures, because $20 at these times are a lot, but they're more cheaper than these Jack specific ones. Because if you want to go, because these are older toys, but my advice is just get the NECA ones, because those are out and they're more currently, so only time I would suggest you get Jack specific if you're looking for like side characters or characters that you know NECA is not going to really do a figure on. But if you're just looking for Apollo Creed, I just give the best advice I can give you. Just go ahead and get NECA's version of Apollo Creed. If you're looking for Rocky, Clubber, Drago, I wouldn't say, I'd tell you, don't even waste your time on those guys. Just go ahead and just get the NECA style versions. But that's round about it. This is Jack Specifics. This is the best of Rocky from Jack Specific from 2007 or 8, whatever year those was. But just like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.